Good morning, all of you. So, as you know that in last class we have been studied that what is baking soda and what is the production of baking soda, what is the properties of baking soda, as well as what is the uses of baking soda. So now, in our today's class, we are going to study the next very important chemical compound is known as what is the drug?
Bleaching powder.
Powder. So,
Bleaching powder.
So before going to study what is bleaching powder and etc. So I have taught you two words which you have to remember in the last class. So what is the two words? Can you able to say please? One is, if you want to understand, before going to study what is bleaching powder, first we must know the two words. What is the two words? In last class I have been taught you.
Bleaching agent and disinfectant.
So
Disinfectant.
agent is
Bleaching agent and disinfectant.
Disinfectant.
as disinfectant. Yes, guys.
Yes, sir.
So as we know that bleaching agent means which can remove the color and make the substance colorless. Is it yes or no, guys? That is what we should call it as bleaching agent is the decolorizing substance. Is it yes or no? Decolorises colored substances. That is what we should call it as bleaching agent, which will remove the color and make the substances decolorizes colored substances.
Colored substances.
Colored substances. Like that, if it comes to here, disinfectant means what? It will be used to kill germs.
Kill germs or bacteria.
Germs or bacteria is called as disinfectant. Is it yes or no, guys? This is what we have been studied in the last class. Is it yes, Varshini? I clarify. Now, let us come to we will continue the bleaching powder today. Now, if it comes to here, bleaching powder. So, bleaching powder is calcium oxychloride. Already somewhere I have been taught manufacturing bleaching powder, some other thing. Where is that? Can you able to see? We are using something in manufacturing bleaching powder. What is that? What is that? You may remember. Somewhere the users I have been taught you. Bleaching powder, production of manufacturing bleaching powder, we are using that. Okay. So now this bleaching powder is called as calcium oxychloride. What we should call?
Calcium oxychloride.
Calcium oxychloride.
Powder is calcium oxychloride. So, calcium oxychloride, if you observe, the chemical formula of this bleaching powder is
CaOCl2.
calcium
CaOCl2. CaOCl2.
Not twice. COCl2, that's all. Understand, Nitinath? It is not the twice. Twice means bracket should come. Okay? That is called as twice. So, this is what we should call as chemical formula of this. And now if it comes to here, it is also we can call it as another name of this one. Also we can call it as chloride of lime. What we should call?
Chloride of
lime. All of you know it. Very, very important. For MCQs, like these things only will come. So, bleaching powder, calcium oxychloride. So, CaOCl2. Also, what is another name? It is chloride of lime.
Chloride of lime.
Remember that. Now, let us go with the preparation of bleaching powder. All of you write it. What is that?
Preparation of bleaching powder.
Preparation of bleaching powder. So now, let us come to the preparation of bleaching powder. So, bleaching powder is prepared by passing the chlorine gas over a dry slackle lime. What do you mean by slackle lime? Anybody? Yalni, Dilipan, Kevin? Dry slakul lime. Nitish.
Calcium hydroxide.
Calcium hydroxide.
Calcium hydroxide.
Calcium
CaOH2.
hydroxide.
All of you should remember. It is prepared. It is prepared by passing which gas?
Chlorine.
Chlorine gas over whom better dry slakul lime. Understand? Dry slakul lime. So all of you should remember this. Is it okay, guys? Now write the equation. Anybody? Calcium hydroxide CaOH
CaOH
plus
plus Cl2 plus
Cl2 chlorine gas, which will form you CaOCl2,
CaOCl2
which will form
calcium oxychloride plus water.
calcium oxychloride and water. So this is what we
Water.
call as bleaching powder. What we should call?
Powder.
Powder. I hope it is balanced. Is it yes, guys? Please check it. All of you. All of you check it. Karthikeyan, Nitinath, Nitish, Arvind.
Yes, sir. Balance, sir.
So okay. Dina, are you there, Dina? Call to option is so many are there. So calcium hydroxide plus chlorine, which will give you calcium oxychloride plus water. So this is now. So this is what production. What is this process called as? Production of bleaching powder or preparation of bleaching powder. Now, after preparation, what we have to study? We have to know properties. We must know the properties. So properties of right. Properties of bleaching powder. Okay. So now, first property. So it is containing one gas. What is that gas? It is made up of one gas. What is that? What is that?
Chlorine.
Chlorine gas.
Chlorine gas.
Understand?
Chlorine.
Chlorine gas.
Chlorine.
That is
Chlorine.
you can observe the bleaching powder. So it is prepared by passing the chlorine gas over dry slakul lime. That is the first property. The bleaching powder is a white powder, which gives a strong smell of chlorine. What is that? Which gives a strong smell of chlorine. All of
Chlorine.
it is a white powder. It is a white powder. What is the color of this one, Alni? White powder gives a which gas smell? Tarani Pushpa. Strong smell of chlorine. That is you have to remember it. Next, this is the first property. Second property. Now, if you observe very carefully, is it soluble in water or not? Is it soluble in water or not? It's not no. That is why we are even mixing our tanks and all, water tanks and all. If we are cleaning, we will mix bleaching powder. Correct or not? Because it is a disinfectant. Is it yes, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is the reason. So if you observe here, it is soluble in cold water. Please write it. It is soluble in cold water. The small insoluble portion, something is always insoluble and it is left behind is the lime present in it. So please all of you note it down. So it is manufactured with a lime, correct or not? So lime, slakul lime. So that is why something will be insoluble after dissolving in cold water. So that is what we should call it as, like left behind is the lime which is present in it. So lime is what? Calcium oxide. What we should call? Calcium oxide. All of you should remember. Lime means calcium oxide. Lime water means calcium hydroxide. What we should call? Calcium
hydroxide.
This is also we can call it as quick lime. What we should call?
Lime.
quicklime, and this is called as what? Slake lime.
Slaked lime.
That is so right. It is soluble in cold water. It is soluble in cold water. The small insoluble portion always left behind. Always left behind is the water. What is that insoluble one? Is called as lime. Lime in it. That is the second property. Now, observe very carefully. If it reacts with acid, can anybody take Kevin? Can able to say third property? So bleaching powder reacts with dilute acids. What it will produce? Can able to say? Anybody? Please. Harini, Yalini, Anusri, can able to say? It will produce what it will produce? It will react with it is containing some gas. What is that gas? Anybody can say?
OH minus.
Is it contains hydrogen gas? Bleaching powder. CaOCl2. Where
Sir, chlorine, sir.
Chlorine gas.
gas.
Chlorine
Chlorine
gas.
gas.
bleaching powder reacts with dilute acids, it will produce which gas? Chlorine gas. Very
Chlorine gas.
Chlorine gas.
important MCQ. So please write it. Third property. Bleaching powder reacts with the dilute acids to produce which gas? To produce chlorine gas. That is what you have to remember. So now, what will happen? You can see. So the bleaching powder is treated with any kind of dilute acid. Then whatever the chlorine is present in it, it will start producing or liberating. So, for example, let us take start reacting bleaching powder with dilute H2SO4. What is that? Diluted acids. Concentration we are not supposed to use. Dilute, understanding, DIL dot. It is indicating what? What is this indicating? Dilute acids. Understand? So what is the products will come? Calcium plus sulfate. What will come? Calcium plus sulfate. What will come? Calcium sulfate.
Calcium sulfate.
Calcium sulfate, sir.
Is there? O is there. What will come? H2O.
Water
Cl. What will come?
plus chlorine gas.
Why I am
Chlorine
saying
gas.
Chlorine.
like this? In exam, you people are not supposed to get confused. That is the reason I am saying you very clearly here. So CaOCl2 dilute H2SO4, CaSO4 H2OCl2. I think it is balanced. Is it yes, guys? But let me take one more acid. Say CaOCl2 plus dilute HCl. Now all of you tell me. So what will come? Calcium chloride
Chlorine.
L2 plus
CaCl2 plus H2O
O
2O chlorine gas.
plus
Cl2.
chlorine gas.
But chlorine is not balanced. You can check it. So 2 I can keep here, 2 Ca, and here I can keep 2 HCl. Is it yes or no, guys? I think 2 H2O or not. Is it yes? 2 H2O keep means chlorine is not balanced. So 2 Cl2. Is it correct? Now you verify. Nitish, can you verify this? Dina, is it correct? Balanced? Now you can check it. Number of hydrogens are 2. Chlorides you can check. 2 to the 4 plus 2, 6. Here,
Yeah, but oxygen is not balanced, sir.
Oxygen not balanced, sir.
Oxygen not balanced.
1 minute. Then we will balance it. So oxygen is not balanced. Here chlorine also not balanced. So now you can check
Sir, 4 HCl, sir.
4 HCl. Wait. Instead of 2, we can keep 4. Then everything is balanced, I think. Correct? Okay. 4 HCl. So I can keep here 2 H2O?
2H2O.
Yeah, 2 H2O.
Yes, sir.
Cl2.
Yes, sir.
Is it correct? So 4 chlorines, 8 chlorines. So 2 2s are 4, 2 2s are 4. Is it yes, guys? Is it balanced or not? Yes or no? Now you
Yes,
can
sir.
verify. Calciums are 2, oxygens are 2, chlorines are 8. 2 2s are 4, next 4. 4 plus 4, 8. Oxygens, everything is balanced. That is what you have to remember. So that is everybody should remember when and bleaching powder is react with the dilute acids. What it will produce? It will liberate which gas? Chlorine gas.
Chlorine gas.
That is
Chlorine.
gas. Remember,
Chlorine gas.
liberating chlorine gas. So now you can see whatever here, this chlorine gas, whatever it is produced by the action of dilute acid and bleaching powder, it is only acts as a bleaching agent. What will act? It is only act as a bleaching agent.
Bleaching agent.
What do you mean by bleaching agent? I have taught you last class and today's also I have taught. What is a bleaching agent? Nitinath?
Decolorizes the colored substance.
Sir,
Remove color from the colored substance.
Decolorizes the colored
and
substance.
makes it
Colorises
colorless.
the color substance.
Remember. So then who is the real bleaching agent present in bleaching powder? Anybody? Who is the real bleaching agent present in the bleaching powder? Chlorine gas. What is that? Chlorine gas.
Chlorine gas.
Important MCQ question. So all of you remember. So whatever the chlorine is producing here, so this chlorine gas, understanding? So this chlorine gas is only, we are using as a what? This chlorine gas acts as a bleaching agent. What we can say? Bleaching agent. Do you understand, guys? So when and bleaching powder is react with acid, it will produce the chlorine gas. This chlorine gas will act like a water. Will act like a bleaching
Agent.
Bleaching agent.
I can say note, and all of you write it. The real bleaching agent. Real bleaching agent present in bleaching powder. Present in bleaching powder. Powder is humra. Is chlorine.
Chlorine.
Understand, Varshini? Very, very important MCQ. Okay. So many years it has been asked for normally also. General 1 mark question also. That is what I am saying. So very, very important. Note you can keep and you can write. So that is why you can see the bleaching action of chlorine is due to why? What is the reason? Why it is acting bleaching action? Why? What is the nature of this one? Is it oxidizes or reduces? Is it oxidizes or reduces? So remember, this chlorine is due to the oxidizing property. Why it is working as a bleaching agent? Bleaching action. Understand? Oh, you want to show up? Write it. So why the chlorine? They will ask. This is also one of the important. The action of the bleaching action is due to oxidizing property of chlorine gas. What is that? Oxidizing property of chlorine gas. So a bleaching action. Everything is one MCQ. A bleaching action of chlorine. Chlorine is due to its oxidizing property. What is that?
Oxidizing property.
Oxidizing property. Very, very important. So now I will say you, sir, what is this oxidizing property and how it will takes place upon. Till here, any doubt, anybody, please let me know. Karthikeyan?
No doubt, sir.
Okay. So are you clear everything? So very, very important, all you should remember. Now here you can see what is happening means some colored substances turns colorless when oxidized by chlorine. That is what it will happen. So what will happen actually means, so bleaching powder is an arrangement for storing chlorine. Understand, guys? So when you want to store the chlorine, actually what is the nature of chlorine? Arvind, what is the state of chlorine basically, Dina? Chlorine is in which one? What is it? Is it solid, liquid or gas?
Gas.
Gas.
Gas. Gas is
Store
stored.
the gas. Is it yes or no, guys? We cannot store the gas. We want containers and all. We have to protect it very carefully. So that is why we will use this bleaching powder. Is as a what? It is store, understanding, for storing the chlorine. So why? Why, sir, we are using? Why can't we store the chlorine separately? Some Kevin will ask you, or then I will ask you, sir, why can't I will store? I will collect the chlorine gas directly. I will store it, and I will use whenever I want. Why I want to prepare this bleaching powder and all? So here, because it is a gas. It is gas, so it is very difficult to store and as well as utilize. Do you understand, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So that is why. So the reaction of this bleaching powder with the dilute sulfuric acid or dilute HCl means orange diluted acids. So you can see that dilute, understanding, they will start liberating whenever it will start reacting with the acids. So they will start liberating the chlorine gas, which is having a what property? Oxidizing property. What is the property? Oxidizing property. So due to this oxidizing property, what is happening? What is happening? It some colored substances turns into what? Because of this, colored substances are turns into what? Arya? Because yeah, some colored substances. Some colored substances turns what? Turns
Colorless.
Colorless substances.
colorless when oxidized by whom? Oxidized by chlorine.
Chlorine.
By oxidized by chlorine. That is what you have to remember it. So why we need bleaching powder? They will ask you, what is the use of bleaching powder? It is using to store the which gas? Chlorine gas. Remember it. Understand? So bleaching powder is an arrangement for storing chlorine. It is an arrangement for storing chlorine. So why? What is the reason, Tarani, Yalni? Because what is the reason? Because chlorine is what? Chlorine is a gas. It is a gas which is very difficult to what? Which is
Difficult to store.
difficult to store and as well as utilize. So that is what it is. Any doubt, anybody, guys? So this is what it is. So that is the reason we are storing the chlorine gas in the form of what? Bleaching powder or we can chloride of lime. What is another name of bleaching powder? Chloride of lime. That is you have to remember. So this is all about the properties. Any doubt, anybody? I have taught you very slowly 3 properties we have for bleaching powder. If you understand this, then we will go now. Uses of bleaching powder. What is that? Bleaching powder. You understand or not? Nitinath, Arvind? Uses of bleaching powder. Uses of bleaching powder. Karthikeyan, can you say what is the first use of bleaching powder? Karthikeyan, Harini, Varshini, what is the first use?
Used in
It is a disinfectant, sir.
Used as an oxidizing agent.
No. First you should
It
say.
is a disinfectant.
No, disinfectant, okay. First we should study decolorizing because that is the major purpose of storing the understanding. The major purpose of bleaching powder is what? It is purpose of storing the chlorine gas. So this chlorine gas we can use decolorizing agent. Is it yes or no, guys? Yes or no? Respond. So that is the
Yes,
first.
sir.
So uses of bleaching powder. The first use of bleaching powder is very, very important, guys. Everybody remember. It is used for bleaching cotton and linen in textile industry. Where we are using? It is used for bleaching. What do you mean by bleaching? Means removing color. Do you understand, guys? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So bleaching
Yes,
cotton
sir.
and as well as Linen.
Linen and
No,
textile
linen
industry.
cloth. Is it yes or no? Textile industry. Textile industry. Industry. And for bleaching wood pulp. And also we are using what? And bleaching.
Bleaching wood pulp in paper factory.
Which industry? Very good. Very good. Bleaching.
paper industry.
Yeah, bleaching wood
Paper
pulp.
industry.
We are using wood pulp. Wood pulp. PULP, correct? Wood pulp in paper industry. Paper. Write it. Paper industry. Are you clear, guys? Now, also we can remember in laundry. Laundry. What do you mean by laundry? Anybody? Nitish, Yalni, Kevin, Karthikeyan, respond. Anusri.
For clothes washing area, sir.
So,
Cloth washing area.
Bleaching washed cloth.
as pressed. Is it yes or no? So, we can use here a bleaching action of bleaching powder is used in chlorine be released by it. So, that is the reason we can use washed cloths in laundry. So, that is you can do it. Right. What is that? Also used for
Bleaching washed cloths in laundry.
water tanks. Yeah, bleaching. Also used for bleaching. Wash. Nowadays, we people are washing our clothes our own. But if we'll go a few years before, like each village, one washerman will be there. Correct or not, guys? Some like something, those who are having a little bit rich and all. Nowadays, we have a washing machine. But before and all, one fellow will come, he will collect all the cloths and he will go to the near water pond. And there they will boil the cloths and they will wash and they will iron. Is it yes or no? That fellows will use bleaching powder. What they will use? Bleaching powder. Understand, right? That is you have to remember. So bleaching for water. Bleaching.
Washed cloth.
Washed cloths. Laundry.
In laundry.
Washing clothes in laundry. So what do you mean by laundry? A place where we are washing and pressing the clothes. That is your
Cloth.
remember it. So why we are using this one? Again what? The bleaching action of bleaching powder. Why? Because it contains which gas, Amma? Elamati, Yalni, Tarani?
Chlorine gas. Chlorine gas.
So that is the reason why we are using this. Understand? This is the first use. Next, coming to the second use, if you observe, bleaching powder is used for second one what? Disinfecting drinking water supply. That is what? Making drinking water free from germs. Free from germs means in a sense of like bacteria and as well as some other kind of infectious things. So if you add this bleaching powder, it will kill that and it will make it safe for drinking. Is it yes, guys? That is how to remember. So it is used for water, Nitinath. Karthikeyan, no response. What happened? It is used for
Making drinking water free from germs.
disinfecting drinking water supply. Drinking water supply, making drinking water free from germs. Making water
What is also sir? For corona they use.
water.
What says they're using bleaching powder, sir?
Yeah. Everywhere. All municipalities and all they will use. No. Even this corona time, so many tons of bleaching powder they have been poured on the roadsides and municipality areas. Have you even noticed it? Is it correct? Next. This is the main important part. How many of you watched the King Kong movie? King Kong? Have you watched King Kong? I think most of you watched it, correct? So, to make it unconscious state, they will blast some kind of a liquid chemical. What is that? Can you able to say? What is that? Chloroform, you may heard, which is getting the animal's unconscious state. We will use the chloroform. So which is looks like a liquid, but it will be coming outside, will become into the gas, which will cause us unconsciousness. So this is also manufactured by Humra with the help of bleaching powder. So that is how it is very good, Kevin. It is used to manufacture, use it for the you can give use it for the manufacture of chloroform. What is this? Chloroform. So very important formula for general awareness and as well as government exams and all. The formula of chloroform. No, so many after going to the higher classes they will forget this. So CHCl3 is the chloroform. Very simple compound. So CHCl3 is the chloroform. That is you have to remember. Next, this is the third use. Very important use. Next, fourth one. It is used for making wool unshrinkable. You may notice it. Your mother or somebody when they are washing the clothes, some new dress you have been purchased today. So when you are washing, suddenly some dress will shrink. Is it as girls usually speak like that? So their dresses most probably they will shrink. They will shrink. Shrink in the sense of after washing some kind of a like what we can say, some kind of a scribbles like that things is to come. Is it as guys? Shrinking we can guys. Girls respond. Your mother also will say, saree is shrinking, or else the color is going when you will wash. Like that, people will discuss. Is it yes or no? Yes, Ram. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
To make the wool, in wool industry, to make unshrinkable, means to make the wool unshrinkable, we are using this bleaching powder. All of you write it. It is used for what? Used for making wool unshrinkable. Unshrinkable. Is it okay, guys? That is how to say. Next, fifth one. Bleaching powder is used as an oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent. Please write it. It is used as an. It is oxidizing property. Is it yes or no, guys? So that is why we can use this one. Is as a what? Oxidizing agent. So oxidizing agent. Sir, in this oxygen is not there. Then how it is oxidizing agent? By this time you may understand so many. Anybody can say why it is called as oxidizing agent? Any idea? Kevin, Nitinath? Then what is the use of studying, Ray? Guys, what do you mean by oxidizing agent? Either it needs to supply the oxygen or else it needs to remove the what? Remove
hydrogen.
You are only oxidizing agent or oxidation means not only need to supply the oxygen or else need to share the oxygen. Understand? If it is remove hydrogen also, which to called as what? Oxidation only. That is what you have to remember. So it is used as an oxidizing agent in many chemical industries because it will remove water, remove hydrogen. Right? Then what is the use of studying? Ashika, are you there in meeting? Harini, respond. Anusri also. That is. So this is so remove H2. So this is all about the bleaching powder. 5 uses. Any doubt, anybody you can ask me. Or else we will go to the next part. So let's start now. So this is for bleaching powder. So I'm going to end the meeting. Please rejoin fastly, all of you.